Hey, I'm Bert Burlington, and today we're gonna look at the Perfect World Major Group B RMR of Europe. And we're gonna look at which teams are gonna qualify and which teams are probably not gonna qualify. We did Group A last time. I seem to be quite successful. It hasn't been finished yet, but we're gonna see. If you want to check that video out, check it now. You can see if I'm speaking bollocks or something. Before we start, please leave a like and subscribe if you are interested in this type of stuff, and I would really appreciate it. It would be great. And if you have any thoughts about like who you think is gonna qualify or who's gonna be like a surprise not gonna make it, throw it down in the comments. I'm very interested to hear it, and I just like to talk with people who love to talk about Counter-Strike. So please throw your comments down below. All right. So there's 16 teams, but there are only 7 spots, so not 8 spots. So it's gonna be very strange in the last day, but we'll have to see how that goes. But remember, 7 spots only. Alright, first we're gonna look at all the teams that are playing in this group. So we start with G2, Team Spirit, Eternal Fire, Virtus Pro, Heroic, Astralis, Big, 3D Max, Ninjas in Pajamas, Bait, Aurora Gaming, Passion UA, Paravision, 9 Pandas, Sashi Esports, TSM. So let's start first with the teams that are definitely gonna go through. And the easiest one is G2 Esports. There's no chance they're not gonna make it. Like, no way. It's they have too much firepower to like blow everybody out of the water in this competition. Like with the teams we have here, we got Nico, we got Monacy, we got Malps. Malps is crazy. I think he's a great signing. And Hunter, if he shows up, and of course Snacks, if he shows up, like that's a big ask nowadays apparently. Can you make a point about pressure? Like, because we know it's gonna be the last event because Nico is gonna leave, and you know they know this is the last tournament with this lineup. Does that give more pressure or less pressure? I think less, because it doesn't matter what happens, you are done, sort of. You know, you're safe. Your Malps is safe because he's just gonna be staying in G2. He's their new main rifler, let's say. He's gonna replace Nico. Monacy, you know, he's sitting pretty. He can go anywhere. He can just stay. No point of worrying about Monacy. Nico is leaving to Falcon, so he doesn't really care that much. Of course, he wants to win a major, so there is pressure, of course. I would say that there's only a lot of pressure on 2 players, which are Hunter and Snacks, because I don't think Hunter is gonna stay. I have this feeling that Hunter is just gonna leave, but I can see just to see him stay, of course, because he's fine, but he hasn't been great. Snacks has all the pressure, sadly, because I like Snacks, but he really has to, like, you know, prove himself to like stay in tier 1, because people don't believe it. I'm also a bit of a doubter, but maybe if he does something miraculous here and the lineup goes far, and Snacks is showing great strides in his in-game leading capabilities, he can maybe be in this next G2 team, you know, because, you know, big changes. But I don't know. But I think G2 is going to be fine. Team Spirit. It's just a matter of Donk is going to be donking, and I think, being Donk, he's definitely going to be donking, and he's going to dunk on people, and it's going to be the Donkler going all the way, so I think people are going to get dunked. Eternal Fire. I am very impressed by Eternal Fire. I didn't expect them to do that great. I like national teams, and I like the players in Eternal Fire. I like Major, I like Xantars, of course. I think Woxic is always an interesting character, let's just say. There were so many problems with this team in the beginning, where like I think like there were some leadership problems where Major got out, but then Woxic took over, but then it also didn't go great, or Woxic even went out. But they patched all those things up, and that's what I like, you know, like they proved that by sticking together and really trying it and going through the issues instead of like making a roster change, and it worked like a charm. And are they gonna make it? Yeah, of course they're gonna make it to the major. Like, I feel like they can almost be like more stable than a G2, but no problem worrying about that. I can even see Eternal Fire make the playoffs, but that's only in a week or 2 that and I will make a video about that too, of course. Check it out when that comes out. Heroic. A big project, a huge project, with led by the ex-Ents coach Saw, who I heard is like, he's getting quite a bit of money to make this, you know, a big project, and they're doing fine, and that's the problem. They have been doing fine. Well, they can be like at least a top 5 team in the world. Like the players they have so many prospects in the form of Kixen. Kixen is good as an IGL. He has to prove way more, but I think he could be good for like heroic for the next 2 years if they want to like build on something. But then the most interesting one, in my opinion, is Dexter. I don't know. I just like when I see him on the AWP. I think he's fun. I don't know. But he, of course, he was almost out for a year because of like he was on the bench and then he hurt his arm or something, or eye. I don't know what it was. So he had an operation and stuff. So he has to get back. Maybe this is the time he's gonna peak again. Like he did with Spirit that one time. I think he was in PGL Antwerp in the playoffs when Donk wasn't there yet, and Shiro, of course, wasn't there yet. But like I like Dexter a lot, but he has still some of the left to desire. Testes and Shoes, of course, solid core. Keep them as long as you can. Like you don't let them go. They have been showing that they're loyal, and they have been showing that they're fucking good at this game. So like they're great. Like that's all you can say about them. The big one actually that is I don't know why, but a surprise star player in my opinion is Nerds. Nerds is just like, I feel like he's overshadowed. Maybe I just missed it, but like I think he's overshadowed by, of course, Donk, Monacy, Zaiwu. But I think Nerds could be like, he could be top 10 player one day. Not this year. I don't think this year, because Heroic hasn't had achievements. But maybe with this major, you know, I don't know. We'll see. NIP. No fucking way. I'm joking. Virtus Pro. Yeah, I don't like it either, but I feel like this group is like the easier one of the two. And just because of the lack of like firepower on these other teams, I think just Virtus Pro should just squeak in, you know? Because like the Electronic, Flame, Flit, you know, that's already an insane core. Yeah, no, it makes no sense if they... But they have been really terrible. But they can be. But the thing is with Virtus Pro is they are not good at winning as of late, but they are very good at not losing. Let's do a lightning round just to go through these teams, and these are teams that I think are not gonna make it. These are teams that just don't have it. I'm gonna quickly just say why. TSM, they're just bad. They don't, you know. TSM is just gonna drop this core after this major. If they didn't qualify for this RMR, then they would have already been kicked. I feel like that's just what TSM does and NA Orcs. So it's just sad. But this team is also like, I don't really think it's worth keeping them. Sashi Esports, I don't want to root for these guys because they have Hunden. He's a serial cheater. He, just, you know, a bit of a and I don't like him. And I would hate to see him get sticker money. I don't think he deserves it. Nine Pandas Aurora, they had this weird like shift with their team, Result and Clax, and that was just it's felt like, oh, there's a big change or something. It didn't go anywhere, I feel like. And also, yeah, Nine Pandas, they have been fine, but I feel like they're weaker than they were last time, and then they also came up short. And Aurora they've always looked like a very good, like, young CIS team that was always crushing online, but I feel like they're just like, I feel like, I don't know if they're like, I don't know, with Aurora, I feel like they don't want it as much as the other teams. We heard rumors about Deco maybe, you know, quitting and just going to become streamer, which is their star player, and you don't like hearing that, of course. But also not playing the ARP as much anymore, which is strange because he's an ARPer. But yeah, no, just there's not great signs. Paravision, just sad, like how this team doesn't do anything. And I think that's because of problems with like leadership or identity or lack of it or something. And they never had like a strong voice that was like, yes, we're doing this, and that the rest of the team was buying into, or maybe some bad leading. I can't say, but like first at Jerry, I like Jerry a lot. I thought he's gonna do great. I was hyped when he joined Paravision, but yeah, it was just terrible. It was just very disappointing, and I wish he came back and has another shot at something, but we'll see. Then they had Finn, their coach, also been kicked, and just also didn't get anything done. So again, the people who have to be calling the shots are not effective. But yeah, now they got Dastan from Virtus Pro. He's great. I think I like him. He seems, we hear a lot of things that he's actually very knowledgeable about the game, very nice and very professional. We don't know that much about him, but it's big for like a CIS coach to hear us about, because oftentimes, you know, the West and the CIS, they don't talk. It makes sense because they don't speak the same language. But I think Dastan is going to be great in this team. But he's only been there for 10 days. As of recording this now, he's going to be there for 13 days when the first match is. And worried he won't do that much yet. But, so yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. NIP, it's just a mess. I'm an ex-NIP fan. I was a fan when it was Get Right and Force and everything, but then I just learned more about the org, and I didn't really like it. Yeah, this team is just like, I just don't trust Nip, and I just don't trust anything they're doing. I like Wrinkle. I think Wrinkle was the best thing that Nip has done in a long time. And I'm sad because I like Fred, I like Exist, but they don't get it done. Fred is the general manager and Exist is the coach, but it's not getting things done. And also the Maxter is sick, so that's big sad. And Joe Cap has to take over, so that's a big sad. I missed him. New South African IGL. I would like to see it again, like JT. That would be funny. I don't feel like NIP helps their young players that much for some reason. I don't know. I don't think they can harbor in-game leader talent. And Exist, you know, he was also like a fragging IGL, and his last success was with Cadian, who we already know was like a good caller, I think, and knew how to do it, you know. So I don't know. I don't feel good. So that's why no NIP. All right, we go back to the qualifying teams, and now it's gonna get difficult. We only have 2 more spots, and I think the best one for that 6th spot is gonna be 3D Max. It's the French team that are fighting for their organization, I think, because their contracts are running out. So maybe they're gonna get picked up by a new team, or maybe they get re-signed. But they're battling to keep their position in the team because their contracts are running out. But also maybe put themselves in the shop window and maybe get picked up by a bigger org like TSM, because they're probably gonna kick their team. But we'll have to see. But I think that 3D Max is worthy of going through, even though I think their firepower is probably one of the lowest here in this competition. I think it's gonna be teamwork that's gonna get this team through to the major, and it's because like these players they're loyal to each other and they've been together for a long time. The core has that is in the form of Lucky, Joko, and Exercise, who were at Double Pony, and they were at Heat and stuff. Like they were in so many teams. I think they're gonna make it through, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard for them, but I think it's possible because we're gonna see. You know, we're gonna see like solid fundamentals, teamwork, loyalty, camaraderie. Can it beat these young AIM stars in the form of like Passion Ukraine? You know, Aurora, you know, like that's like, because I feel like the Auroras have a lot of firepower. Do they have that structure? Do they have that teamwork, you know? And we're gonna see that. I think look out for that. I think that's a very exciting story there. So for the last spot, I am doubting between 3 teams. I'm talking Astralis, Big, and Bait. Astralis, the news just came out that Device is gonna be not with the team because he has stomach issues. He has had this for a long time, sadly, and it prevents him from traveling a lot because I think it's just too uncomfortable or painful, which is sad to hear because, you know, he could be great, but yeah, this is looking very bad for him. And Astral is like your star player, your star opera, you know, that's terrible. And also with that, IGL, Cadian, he's hurt his wrist or something, his shooting wrist, so I don't know if that, because he was cycling and he fell or something, I don't know how. You don't like to hear that, of course, unless you're not an Astralis fan, and I am not an Astralis fan, and so I'm kind of happy, you know. I think Astralis are in a very tough position, and they haven't qualified for a major in a long time, and it's been like and they were to full strength then, and then didn't even make it, so things are looking bad for them. Big, I was so excited when I saw this team. I saw JDC, I was like, yeah, that's the best German player that wasn't in Big, you know, get him in there. And Rigon, like, I was like, I like Rigon, because, you know, we all love that. We saw Bad News Bear just like exploding, just screaming. That's the shit we like to see, and especially now with the RMR, so check that out. At least if there's anything to celebrate for Rigon, of course, because it hasn't been. Like, it has been very disappointing, even for Big standards, like, both types of the word, of course. It's just been not great. I think they're like 30th or something, if they're lucky, or 20th. I because they get invited to a lot of tournaments, of course. But it's been bad, and Searson, their ARPR, was incredible 2 years ago, I think now. Mostly, I think online, but like we know that about him. He has some things or something. But with things, I mean, like he doesn't like to travel, I think. All right, not like he has like a cheat or something. Yeah, it's not great. It's not looking good for Big. And then the last team is Bait. It's the young, plucky Ukrainian players that went into Tier 1 in the form of NPL, Nipple if you like nipples, and Hattrick, who went to NIP and, you know, was forced to be an ARPR when he wasn't really, or it was a bit strange. And then NPL, yeah, he was in Navi and everybody else. I think it was even that they didn't even hang out with him. It was kind of strange that they would like eat and then he didn't even sit at the table, something funny like that. But he's been doing great. He's being like a young new IGL for the CIS region, so that's exciting. And which I thought was strange because I thought Captain Kurka, the legend, of course, Captain Kurka, 023 or 023, the legend. I want to see him qualify for a major. They've been tearing ass lately, like for like equivalent, you know, of like their normal level. You know, with that, I think it has to be Bait because they are on an upswing. Well, like Big and Astralis are just on a downswing. They've been very good this year. They're always like in those online cups like CCT and stuff. Most importantly, they were in the Katowice Challenger tournament where Saw won, but they won against Bait in the final, where Bait was a surprise contender there. So that's very impressive by them. I think we have to go with the new guys and get rid of the old and get them into the major. And those were my picks. The 7 teams that are gonna go through are G2 Esports, Team Spirit, Eternal Fire, Heroic, Virtus Pro, 3D Max, and Bait. And those are my picks for who I think is gonna qualify for the major. And I will be making more videos about that too, of course. I will be making pick'em videos. So if I do quite well here, maybe I'm trustworthy to do your pick'ems, you know. So subscribe for that if you want to see those videos, of course, because I'm a small little channel. You will lose me if you don't subscribe right now. You will lose me. All right. So subscribe down below. And again, thank you very much. Leave a like, and I want to hear your guys' picks too. Like, tell me, or say I'm stupid. You know, say I'm stupid. I welcome it because it's probably true. It's probably true.